So testing 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Now, welcome to web development class with the CS Academy. Right. So, like I said, we're going to be learning web development and everything about web development. This class is going to be recorded so that at the end of the class you will have access to the video as well as things I use during the class. So you are welcome. Now, I've already introduced myself yesterday. Like I said, my name is Ejo. God bless. You can reach out to me whenever you're having a question and so on and so forth. So for now, let's get started. Now, I told you something yesterday. I said in web development there are 3 basic languages of the web, right? So I'll be using this notepad to this place to write. So I'll say the let me just say web dev class, right? Now let me say D1, right? So the 3 basic language of the web are number 1 HTML, number 2 CSS, and number 3 JavaScript, right? Now if I'm too fast, please tell me so that I will calm down and slow a bit. Now, like I said yesterday, I said HTML stands for hypertext markup language, right? So let me go back to my other slide. So it starts for hypertext markup language. Now, I said it's not a programming language. What it is that it is a markup language that is used to write content into our browser. Is that not so? Then now what CSS does is that CSS is a styling language that gives beauty to our website. You get? So when HTML brings in everything to the web page, CSS will do justice to it by styling it, right? Now I gave you a scenario yesterday about a house. So let me just see if I'm still having that picture. I gave you a scenario about a house. So this was what I was explaining yesterday. Remember I said if I was with my system, I was supposed to show you guys this picture. Now if you look at this first one, it says HTML. Is that not so? Now what do you notice here?
Yes.
This is just a structure, right? Just a structure, not beautiful at all. But now I said when CSS comes to it, what will happen? CSS will add beauty, color, styling and everything to make it attractive. Is that not so?
Yes.
Then I also gave you a scenario yesterday. I said just imagine you are having a house, you have finished building the house, there is bulb light, there is fan, there is AC, well painted, pictures, furnitures and everything. But imagine that the bulb or the AC or the fan, they are not working. What will happen? Notice that the house will not be convenient for you to stay in. Am I right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So that's where JavaScript comes in. Now if you look at the third picture, you notice that this one is having it's not F4. I'm coming. I want to share. Yes, this one is having a light inside of it. It has chimneys and so many things to make it interactive. Is that not so? Yeah. Now if you have your light, you want to switch the lights between on and off. Is that not so?
Yes.
So JavaScript is what will do that for you, right? So that's for that. Then also, I also want to give you guys another scenario yesterday, but somehow one way or the other, it skipped my mind. Now, imagine your website to be a human being. This is what we'll get now, right? Now let's assume that this is a skeleton. Remember, we said skeleton is the bony framework of the body, right? It gives structure and support to your body. Is that not so? The same way, that's how your HTML is. HTML gives support and structure to your web page. Are you following? So that's what it does. It gives structure and support to your web page. I will show you this in just now in a real website so that you'll be surprised. Then now imagine that skeleton now is now having flesh, is now having putting on a clothes, shoe and everything. That's when your CSS is being added to it. Are you following? Now if you look at the frame 1 and frame 2, there's a big difference, right? So take note of that. Then now look at frame 3. Frame 3, the boy is very very happy, like he's playing. Now let me just give you a scenario. Imagine that you are supposed to go out with your friends to play, maybe you're supposed to hang out with your friends and so on and so forth. But one way or the other, after getting ready, your dad did not allow you to go out again. He just said, hey, sit down there, don't go out. What will happen? Shall you be angry all through that day?
Yes, I'll
You are going to be sad, you'll be very angry. But now, if for instance your dad allows you to go and play with your friends, what will happen? You'll be very happy. Like the way you
happy.
play, you'll be playing with the mindset that nobody will beat you when you get home. You get that's just what is happening here.
Yes.
Unlike when go and hang out with your friends without the notice of your parents, now you'll be afraid of playing. But in this case now, your parents has given you the go ahead to go and play with your friends. Now you'll be playing as if
I'm happy.
this is just like your last play. So that's just what's happening here. This is when JavaScript is being added to the website to brings about interactivity and so many fun stuffs to the website. So take note of that. So let me escape. I also want to show you this last frame. I just wanted to get this clear picture, right? Now the first is
Yes.
what? HTML alone. Can you see what's happening? The second is
Yes.
HTML plus CSS. Then the third is HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript when there is interactivity.
Interactive.
Yeah, so take note of that. Now I want to show you one website. Let me go back to my VS Code. So I'm going to be adding this website to our web page, right? So if I come here, click on File, add folder to workspace, and I look for this on my desktop. Bear with me, let me just look for it. I look for this file on my desktop. It is called folder. I think I've passed it. ABCDEF. Okay, it's called folder. So let me just see the GB media. So add to workspace. Now this is a website. I want to show you this website. Copy part. Then I'll go back to my browser. I hope you can see this. Now, what can you see? What do you see, or what can you see? This is a website, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me allow this person to join. This is a website, isn't it? It's very beautiful,
Yes.
right? It has
Yes.
elements on the left hand side, the right hand side, well arranged, and everything is looking neat and nice, right?
Yes.
Now I want to disable the CSS. Then let me show you what I was explaining about HTML and CSS. If for instance I come here and I comment this line of code, then I go back to my web page. Now I will not refresh this page because if I refresh, you won't like what you see. I'll just open the link on a new tab. Now can you see what I'm having?
It's not looking okay.
Like very, very scattered, right?
Yes.
So there's a big difference.
Style.
Yeah, there's a big difference between this and this. This is when you have only HTML. Remember yesterday I told you that HTML does not provide style. It only brings everything to the web page, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so without HTML you can't bring these things to the web page. So you can see that HTML is very, very important. But then when you combine the power of HTML and CSS, you will get something magical. You get. Now if you look at this now, CSS has been added. I have image, I have text, I have icons, I have YouTube videos being listed here. I have this well arrangement of items on the web page, which is the main part and the side part. You get. So I'm going to explain all of these different components or sections of a website and so on and so forth. I'm going to be explaining them to you so that you know how to identify sections of a web page when you see them. So you can see then. Also, let me just show you this one. I'm currently working on this, and this is what I'm having. Well arranged, right?
Yes.
Well arranged. But if I disable the CSS now, what show you are going to see? So if I come back to my web page, let me just add it to my web page file, add folder to workspace, locate the folder by going to this XAMPP and htdocs. So that's called so I just want to show you something. Add folder to workspace, right? Now this is the project. I'm going to look for the header. Then after looking for this header, I'm going to disable the CSS, or rather let me look for the index page, right? Then I'll remove the CSS from it, then see what we're going to get. So let me just delete this line of code, save, right? Now see the same website, I'm going to go back here, copy this line of code, copy this URL, then open a new browser and paste it. Can you see what I'm having?
Yes.
Is this thing, is it beautiful?
Nope.
Okay, that's nice. And again, when you take a look at these websites, sure you see how beautiful they are, how cool they are, well arranged and everything. Take a look
Yes.
at this one, how beautiful it is. You know, if you come to this website, you would like to stay. Is that not so?
Yes.
These are the kind of things I want you guys to know how to build by the end of the class, right? I want you guys to be able to build designs that when people see it, like they'll be motivated to learn web development. In fact, they will have no option than to find a job for you. That's what I want you guys to know how to do. You get, unlike going to those you've heard of Neo Life now, those Neo Life websites that are ugly looking, you see blue and red color, green color, like no, that's not so. I want you guys to know how to work with good color combinations, learn how to work with UI UX designers, learn how to collect design, replicate design, you get, learn how to work with Figma. Like I said yesterday, I said if I show you the Netflix website I built, you think that that is real Netflix. You get, that was their designers at 2020, it's 22 now, 2022. Netflix website is at 2022. Man, the design, okay, let me check. I think I still have a GB Netflix clone. Good, this is the website. It's loading. So this is the website. This Netflix website as at 2022, but now it has changed. They've updated the design. So this was designed by me. I think for a project, there was a program I
Wow.
attended. Man, when they saw this thing, like everybody was like, come and show me. So things like that. The reason is because not like I did anything special. Like I was able to master my CSS to the point that I will write clean CSS code without adding designs. Sorry, without adding framework. You get. So this is built without a framework, pure CSS and HTML. You get. So this is a little of JavaScript. You can see the interactivity I'm talking about. Interactivity. So this is an example of interactivity. Now let me show you another interactivity from another website. Now if you look at this website is not yet interactive. You get, I've not added JavaScript to it. I just added, so in a way I don't think this even needs JavaScript. I might decide to, you know, if I want to take information, I can decide to use JavaScript or use PHP, because the purpose of this website is just to, you know, display blogs, so there's no much complexity there, right? Then for this
Yes.
website, this is JavaScript part of it. If I click on this, you notice that it brings out a menu, right? So that's for that. Then
Yes.
when I scroll down, I can click on this, it will take me up. Those are JavaScript running. I don't know if you get my point. So let me show you another example. Just hold on, let me show you another example. If I go to w3schools.com, which is going to be our resource, can you see what I'm having here? I can toggle between light mode and dark mode. Can you see what's happening? So this is done with JavaScript.
Yes.
These interactivities, right? Let me just see on the board. If I go to JavaScript, there's an example over here. I love this example so much. I like doing it with my students. Like it's very, very interesting. On a bob, off a bob, stuff like that. So I just want this guy to load. So let's see if it will load fast. Let's see if it will load fast. Okay, it has loaded. Let me see if it's the introduction.
That bulb.
Yes, can you see this? I love this example so much.
Yes.
Can you see it? So this is done with JavaScript. We can do this thing. This is very, very simple. 2 lines of code, they are done with it. You get, but the thing is just that you need to understand JavaScript, understand DOM, and so on and so forth. So now enough of the exhibition and everything. So let's go over to the business of the day. Let's go back to the business of the day. So I'm going to close this guys. So like I said, I want you guys to learn how to replicate UIs and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be closing all of these guys. Let's go back to the business of the day. So I will come back to my VS Code, Ctrl Z, save. I'm going to remove this guy from my workspace, right? Remove from workspace. So pay attention. And then now I open this. I'm going to remove this from my workspace as well. But before that, let me Ctrl Z, then save, close this, then close this as well. Then let me remove this guy from workspace. Remove from workspace. Now, we are going to be following this course outline. Later on I will send a course outline for you guys. I will follow, but for now let's just follow this PowerPoint slide. right? Now if you look at this, let's go up. We're going to be using this. So first of all, we're going to learn what HTML is, why should we learn HTML, the useful tools that are needed to getting started with HTML. Then we'll go over to HTML tags and elements. We'll look at block level element. We'll also look at inline elements. We'll look at semantic tags. And after that, we'll look at attributes. Then after attributes, we'll look at some codes and projects using just HTML. Right? So these are the things we'll learn. So now, so what is HTML? Let's start with that one. What is HTML? Now, like I said, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, right? So, like just I've been saying, it's not a programming language, rather, it's a markup language. It is used for bringing everything to our web page. And currently, we are in version 5 of HTML. Now, when we say version 5, what do we mean? HTML has a lot of versions. When a language is being developed or when a program is developed, you have different versions of it. The first release, there are some point in time to be modified, improved on, so they will bring another release and so on and so forth. So currently, the standard version of HTML or the current version of HTML we are using is HTML5, right? And the trademark for HTML5 is called the doc type declaration. So we're going to be seeing this shortly in code. But for now, just know that we are currently using HTML5. Now, take note of these things. I'm going to be asking you questions like quiz. We are going to be doing weekly quiz. I really want you guys to know this thing. You get? So take note of this, guys. Because it is from you we will start getting others. By the time you go out there, exhibit what you do. If you ask where did you learn from, the CES Academy, wow, people will be impressed. They would like to come through our training. So I really want you to know this by all means. So now let's go back to why we should learn HTML. Like I said, HTML is the standard markup for creating web pages. I think there's what they call XML before now. We no longer use all of this stuff. HTML is the standard one that's being used now, right? Like I said that day, I say your browser knows how to interpret HTML. Even though you are building your website with any language or framework, it will be transcribed or it will be translated to HTML by the browser. So take note. Then again, we said it's the building block of a website. We've seen that just now. We said it's the building block of a website. I guess we've seen it just now, not quite long, whereby I showed you how HTML brings about everything to the web page and so on and so forth. Then now we said it describes the structure the same with the previous one. Then it also tells the HTML element tells the browser how to display content. Then also HTML is easy to learn, right? So what do we need to start learning HTML? So let's go over the two things we need to start learning HTML. So tools needed to learn HTML are: number one, you need a text editor, right? And number two, you need a browser. So in our case, we are going to be using Google Chrome. So there are a lot of options to pick from, right? And for our editor, we are going to be using VS Code. You get? So these are the things we are going to be using. So take note of them, right? These are the things we'll be using. Take note of them. Now, is it compulsory for us to use all of these ones? No, like there are options to pick from. For text editors, I have VS Code, there's also Sublime, there's Atom, there's Bracket, and a lot of them. But VS Code is one of the easiest ones to get started with, right? And also for browser, there's Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge. Please mute your mic, just mute your mic because of the background. A lot of them. But for now, we're going to be making use of Google Chrome, right? So now, where do you get this stuff from? I see you've already downloaded VS Code. But just in case, for those that will be watching online, for you to get VS Code, just go to code.visualstudio.com, right? So by the time you go to code.visualstudio.com, this will load the official website for you. Or if you can't remember the website, just type VS Code or Visual Studio Code on your browser. I think this is what will show up. So you can then click on the first link. That will take you to their official website. Then you download. I don't want to download. You can see download for Windows and so on and so forth. So I don't want to download it because I have it already. Then Chrome browser. Of course, you should have Chrome browser on your system. Now, let me go back. I'm going to be closing all of this. My background is very rough. So now I'm going to close the VS Code as well. Let me close this guy as well. And close this as well. Now, after installing your VS Code, all you need to do is just to open your VS Code. Like after downloading the execution file, executable file, you need to run the installation and everything. After everything, you can open your VS Code. This is what you see. If you're opening VS Code for the first time, you see this welcome screen. All you need to do is just to close this. Then let me walk you through this part. Now, this is the VS Code interface. This is for file. If I want to add folder to workspace, open a new file, open a new folder, and so on and so forth. Right, then this is for edit. If I want to undo, redo. But of course, I don't think you will find yourself doing this because we're already used to using Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl S, Ctrl Y, Ctrl Z, and so on and so forth. So I don't think you use any of these. If you don't know keyboard shortcut except that's the only case you are going to find yourself using this. Then this selection. Though I've really not used these guys before. Then this view, then go run. Then this is where I want to get to terminal, right? So if I want to open a new terminal, this is where I will come. I can start writing stuff here. Later on when we get to GitHub, we're going to see how we use this part, right? So let me close this for now. Don't want to confuse you. Now this panel, with this, when I click and unclick, I can toggle between this panel, open and close, right? So take note of that. Then this is to search globally our project and to do replacement. So you can see this was the last replacement I did. So let me just remove it, right? So this for source control. When you want to do it source control of a project, this is where you use, right? Then this for debugging. When we say debug, it means to remove errors. Are we following? So please take note. Then this is extension, right? Extensions are those things you install to make writing code easy. Like for me, I've already installed some of them. So also you are going to be installing some of them. Then this is the remote explorer, live share, and so on. So as time goes on, when you are working, you see the need to install an extension, you have to install it, and so on and so forth. So that's for that. So for my browser, let me just open the browser I've been using. I can't find this. Okay, this is what I've been using. So I will click on this. So this is my browser. So this is a blank page. So now, how do you start a project, or how do you create your first project, and so on and so forth? It's very simple. Now, first thing, I need to go back to my desktop background. All I need to do is just to right click, then click on new, then click on folder, right? Now let me just call this folder and this says Academy, right? So this says Academy is the name of the folder. Now I want to be sure you got this part correctly, so let me just go back to the browser and unmute your mic and say something. I want to be sure you got that part correctly. Pascal, please say something.
Should I do it?
Yeah, do you get what I just did?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you've done these things before, right?
I know, yes, yes.
Okay. So in order for us to be on the same place, just follow closely, right? So now how do you add that folder to your workspace? As you can see over here, I've created a folder. This is the folder, this says Academy, right? So how do I add it to my workspace? Now let me just make sure this guy is open. Now in order for you to add it to workspace, go to your VS Code, click on this, right? Or let me just make this bigger. Click on file, click on add folder to workspace. Are you following? Add folder to
Yes.
workspace, then locate the folder. Like for mine is on the desktop and it's called the says Academy, right? So let me just say the says Academy, then add the folder to workspace. So that's just how to do it. So if I open this panel, you are going to be seeing a folder there. Now I'm going to write the steps down. I'm going to be writing the steps down. So what I will do, I will say starting an HTML project. Right? Now how do you start an HTML project? So the first thing, like I said, number one is to create a folder. Number two, open VS Code. Now where are you creating the folder? On desktop, background, right? Then number two is to open your VS Code. Number three, go to file, right? Number four, add folder to workspace. Then number five, just add folder to workspace, locate the folder and add, right? And add it to your workspace. So that's for that. So this is what we need to do basically. Now, which is what we've done. Now, like I said, HTML is the standard language. Now there's what we call text file. So if I create a file, for instance, and I call this file text.html, and okay, sorry, not text.html, let me say .txt, or let me call it index.txt. Alright, this is a text file. Now if I try to write HTML code inside h1, and I say hello world, what will happen? If I try to do something like this, and I also have an index.html file, please, if I'm too fast, please let me know so that I will slow a bit. I'm just trying not to be very fast. If I have these two files, now what are the differences between these two? Now this is an HTML file. Your browser can interpret it very well, you get, but this, your browser cannot interpret it into HTML code. What will happen is that it will just bring out text on the browser. So how do you open this? If I right click, just to come to copy paths. Are you following? When you click on copy path, open your browser, paste that on the browser. Can you see what I'm having?
Yes.
This is for the text file, but for my HTML file, if I right click, copy path, then come back to my browser and paste this. This is what I'm having.
Yes.
So what are the differences? Or what are the differences rather? You notice that for this, which is a text file, the browser just spits it back to us, like what we just like garbage in, garbage out, you get. But for this one, my browser was able to understand it and return a big text for me, right? So take note of that. So now actually let's start learning about HTML tags and stuff. Now everything you see on a website, like if I go to w3school.com, everything you see on this website, they are all HTML elements, like I said. Now but now we need to know these HTML elements for we to be able to create our own beautiful design and everything, right? So what are the different elements we have in HTML? So we are going to be learning there. Now first of all, I said something about HTML the other time. I said we are in version 5, so I want to delete this text file. It's no longer needed. I said we are in version 5 of HTML. Now before that, let me show you the basic structure of HTML. Now what's the basic structure? Do I have it here? Okay, good. This is the basic structure of HTML. Now first of all, we need our HTML tag. Then after the HTML tag, we need the head. Inside the head, we have the title. Then now the sibling to the head is the body. Then inside the body, that's where we have the content. So let me explain this on VS Code for us. Now if I go back to VS Code, on my VS Code now, all I need to do is just to see HTML, then press enter. This is what is happening. Now this HTML is what we call the root element or the mother element. Okay, so please be noting these guys down. Now inside this HTML, I have two children. What are they? I have the head, right? Then I also have the body. Are we following? Now if an element
Yes.
is inside another element, how will I put this in English? I don't know how to put it, but just watch. This HTML is the parent to head and body. Head and body are siblings to each other. Are we following? And both of them are
Yes.
children to the HTML tag. Now inside the head, I also have another element there, and there are a lot of elements there, but the most important one, or the one you see easily, is called the title tag, right? The title tag. Now what this title tag does is that it gives your web page a title. We're going to be seeing this shortly. It gives your web page title. Then now inside the body tag, that's where all the content you see on this web page, that's where they are. So everything you can see on the website, they are all inside the body tag. Now let's talk about this title tag. Now, like I said, if I open this web page, how do you know the title of the web page? This is what I'm getting. If you look at this top, you see index. So first of all, let me just come here, close tabs to the right. uh, okay, let me close this guy. Now what will happen if I paste that guy again? Now what do you see here? Look at this text over here, this place. You can see index.html, isn't it? Look at where my mouse is. You can see index.html, right? Are you with me?
Maybe. Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Don't mind me. In an attempt to close the unused browsers, I went to close the browsers we are using. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. So, like I said, I want to show you guys something. Now, if you look at this, I think this is it over here. Let me share my screen. Entire screen. And this, I believe you can all see my screen now. You can see my screen, right? Now, if
Yes.
you look at this guy, the title is what we have here. Can you see this guy? Look at what I'm carrying with my mouse. Can you see it? Where I'm carrying with my
Yes.
mouse. Yes, that's the title. Now, why is my title index.html? Now, if there is no title on your web page, it will use index.html as the default title. Now, if for instance now I come back here and I add a title, let me make this big, and I add the title to my web page by saying HTML lecture as the title of my web page. By the time I come back here, what will happen when I reload? The index.html is going to change to HTML lecture. Now if I reload, can you see this now? It's now called HTML lecture. Can you see it? Let me be sure you are seeing it. Just respond.
Yes, we can
Okay,
see it.
good. So that's that. So that's your title of a web page. Now titles are very important. Now why are they important? They are used for SEO. Like later we'll know what SEO means. Inside that head, we have the title, we have the meta tag, viewport, and so on and so forth. Like very very important stuff. Those things, they help in responsiveness, they help in search engine optimization, and so on and so forth. You get. So take note of that. Take note of that. So we're going to see them much more later. Right then. For the body tag, I say everything on the web page is seen on the body. Now, does that mean that if I put them on the head, it won't work? Let me say I come here now and I put P. Then I say hello. If I save, come back here and reload. You can see that it's showing. Even if I come to the head,
Mm-hmm.
inside the head, and I use H1, and I say hello world, right? If I save this and reload my page, you notice that it's showing. But is this a good practice? No, it's a very bad programming practice. Why? This is not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be inside the body tag. Are we following? So never ever should you put your elements inside of your head tag. It's supposed to be inside the body, right? So inside my body tag now, I have h1. I will say hello world, world. So by the time I save reload this page, this is the right thing to do. So all of my content, my paragraph, my text, my button, my images, all of them will be inside the body tag. Are we following? So that's what the body
Yes.
tag does, and all that's what it's doing. But now you can see that I made mention of our HTML structure to be this, which is the basic tree structure, right? But now I also talked about other things like I said something about meta tags for search engine optimization, viewports for responsiveness, and so on and so forth. Now it is not nice, or it is not advisable for me to write this way. This is because there is a way that's already there that will make things easy for me. I don't know if you get my point. Now all I need to do is just to come here and type HTML5. Remember I said HTML5 is the current version of HTML we are using. So by the time I press enter and save, you notice that this will generate a boilerplate for us, right? So you can see the detailed HTML structure. I have the doc type declaration, and the doc type declaration talks about my current version of HTML, which is HTML5. Remember at the beginning of the lecture I said HTML5 uses what we call the doc type declaration. And I have my HTML tag, and this has an attribute. Now what attribute does this has? It has the language attribute, and the value is English. We all know that English is the generally accepted language all over the world, so take note. Then I have meta tag. Now this first meta tag is talking about my character set, which is UTF-8. Remember we have other character sets, UTF-16 and 32 and so on. So UTF-8 is the standard one. Then also I also talked about meta tag for viewport, content width, and device width. Now this thing you would think that is not important. Like that NFT website I showed you guys, this website, there was a particular page I was working on. That page does not have this stuff. Omo, the page was not responsive. I did all I could. It was when I made research, like, and answer that, oh, this tag was missing because that is like a separate page. So when I apply that, the styling works for me. Okay, so this thing is very very important, as little as it is. What he's saying is saying, okay, I want the viewport, then I want the width to be device with the initial scale should be 1.0. So when they say 1.0, whatever scale it is, it should not, now 1.0 the same scale on every size. So please take note. So with time we are going to understand all of this stuff. Then the title, like I said, now the title has changed to document. We can decide to change it. Remember this is a boilerplate, so this comes with it. We can decide to change it. So let me check the time. Oh, we've gone past 40 minutes. Remember I said after 40 minutes we are going to stop. So let me just round up. So this is what we are going to be using. Or if you don't want to use this, you can just say HTML, press enter. Sorry, HTML5. You can say doc type, press enter. It will still give you the same thing. But this doc type is missing the doc type declaration. So let's just leave it on. Or you can use shift and 1. This is what I like using, press enter. It will give you the same thing with using the HTML5 this thing. So that's that for that, guys. So is there any question? For now we're going to take a break. Then we'll continue. Not like we're taking a break, I'm giving room for question and answer, just like I promised. Then we'll continue again after like 10 minutes. We'll just go into the task and so on and so forth. We'll round up. So is there any question so far? Is there anything you are not clear about? Just ask your questions now, because for the second half I'm not going to be telling stories. If you notice, since the beginning of the class I've been telling stories. I'm even tired of talking. I just want to get into the coding right away, but then those important is it preamble they used to call it, I don't know, I'm not an English guy. So those things are important. It prepare your mind for the journey ahead. You get. So that's just that for that. So is there any question before we questions before we start writing tags? So what will happen is this video I think is It's an hour now. I'm going to pause it. I will cut it, then do another one. The reason is because I want the situation whereby the video will be it will be easily accessible by students, like breaking it into
No.
parts and so on and so forth. So I will stop this recording. I will start a new recording for the next one. So now let me stop this one. Where is this my tool? Stop sharing. Then okay, I stop sharing. So please, you guys, if there's a question ask. So let me stop recording.
No question.
No question.
Yes, I'm familiar with all this one you explained.
Okay, okay.